What's up, everyone? Welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about supercharging. And I have to say, we got to fix some stuff. Let's hop into it. One of the first questions you will inevitably be asked, whether you're shopping for a Tesla and someone is asking you why you're thinking about a Tesla, or if you just picked one up, you will always get asked, "Oh, that's pretty cool. How long does it take to charge to 100%?" And I want to get this out of the way. Teslas should be treated like your cell phone. Think about your cell phone. You charge it overnight. You wake up in the morning with a full charge. You use it however much you need to use it. And typically, if you get down to 20% and you're needing some additional juice in the midst of your day, you plug in to get you the rest of the charge that you need to make it throughout the course of the day. Tesla is the same way. So superchargers are genuinely meant to get you to wherever you're going, and they're not meant to top off your tank. It's the first shift that you have to make if you're purchasing a Tesla or you own a Tesla. Is these are more so like a cell phone than they are like your gas vehicle. The other thing that you will commonly have asked is, how long does it take to charge at a supercharger? Well, sir or madam, it depends. And it depends in really one core thing, which is how much miles do you have on the tank? If you are swinging through a supercharger and you already have 50% battery, 60% battery, it's going to be slow. It's going to take a while because the car charges faster at a lower state of charge. So anytime you're stopping at a supercharger, ideally you're looking for, first and foremost, enough to get you where you're going. And part two, if you're needing some excess in the tank whenever you get there to be able to start heading back, then you're looking to get to about 80% charge. And by doing so, the lower you deplete your Tesla battery, the better and faster your charging process will go. Number three, this is a quick one. This is just a misconception. There are videos during Thanksgiving where there are long lines at Tesla superchargers. Now, is that a thing? Yes. Is that something that has happened in the past and could potentially happen again? Yes. The same way that gas stations get flooded during holidays, Tesla superchargers can as well because people are traveling. But what I will tell you is that so far in the time that I have had this Tesla, I would say that I have maybe had a wait time twice. And in those instances, I have had to wait for probably 10-ish minutes in order to go and plug in my car. So it does happen, but I'll tell you 99% of the time, you are not running into instances. Thanks to the nav system, if there's a wait time at the Tesla superchargers, it will tell you how many stalls are available live in real time. Next, are there enough superchargers? And I can confidently tell you, yes. The thing is that many people they're not aware of Tesla superchargers because you don't ever have to use them whenever you're driving an ICE vehicle. And so in my neck of the woods, many of the Wawa gas stations, nearly all of them have superchargers attached to them. But I'll show you on the B-roll footage here that if you just pull up at any given point superchargers on your Tesla, they're everywhere. There was one 2 miles from my house that I was unaware of. So I don't know the exact number because it's growing on a regular basis, but there are plenty of superchargers, and I'll try and put a number on the screen if I can hunt down an official number. Now, let's talk about types of chargers. So within just the onboard nav system, there are types 1, 2, and 3 of charging stalls. They have recently introduced a V4. By the time of recording this video, you've got 1, 2, and 3 that will show up in your nav system. It is important to note that there are dramatically different charging speeds at each charger. So if you're sitting in your Tesla and you find yourself at a charger that does an 8 kilowatt max, and you're thinking, wow, all those videos I've seen about Teslas is false, something's wrong, mine's not charging very quickly, it's because you're at a level 1 charger. And so this would be chargers that you find outside of hotels. You could charge and plug in overnight, and you would have some mileage added to your vehicle, but you probably would not have 250 miles of range added in your overnight stay. Then you've got level 2 chargers. So level 2 chargers are typically 150 kilowatt max chargers. And those, again, are very clearly listed in the actual navigation system. but also your car will only be able to charge to 150 kilowatts. Then the third type is really the one that I always specifically look for, and that's going to be one that's 250 kilowatts max or more. So the benefit of that is that the 250 kilowatt max charger is quite literally going to be your quickest charge. If you have an older Tesla like mine, it's not capable of charging at a 250 kilowatt max charge rate, but it will allow my car to hit the maximum that it is allowed to charge, which I believe they ended up capping older Teslas at 150. You can correct in the comments if you know otherwise. Charging etiquette. So, in relation to charging etiquette, if you're at a level 2 charger, you'll notice that they have them labeled. So it'd be like 1A, 1B, etc. And it will label in strings that all share essentially the same current. And so at a level 2 charger, there are instances where you will show up at a supercharger and you will have to share the capacity with your neighboring partner. If you find yourself at a 150 kilowatt level 2 charger, just know that proper etiquette is actually to leave space when possible between you and the other Teslas around you. So, for example, if it is 1A, 1B, 1C, and then it starts 2A, 2B, 2C, if 1A has someone in the slot, but the 2A does not, then hop over to the 2A and start charging in the 2A. And then that way you both will have a full 150 watt output ability that can be pushed to your car. The good news is that they've come out with the 250 kilowatt, which this methodology does not apply. So in the 250 kilowatt level 3 chargers, every stall has the ability for the full capacity. Okay, so let's talk about calculating drives in general. Obviously, as I mentioned, when you're doing supercharging, it's typically on road trips. And so if I were to want to go from here to Atlanta, all you simply do, or at least what I do, is I push my voice control button and I say, take me to Atlanta, or whatever the address is in Atlanta. It loads up on your screen and it will automatically drop in superchargers along the way. So you may start a trip. For example, I did actually go to Atlanta, and I think initially it had me stopping like 3 times to charge. But what it bases it off of is your current, weather, wind conditions, driving speed, all of that stuff. And then as you progress along your trip, it will add or remove charging stops as needed. So it might start off saying I would arrive at a supercharger with a 27% capacity, versus by the time I actually get there, I now have a 39% capacity because the driving that I did was actually nice and smooth and didn't require a lot of energy, and traffic was flowing smoothly, and I ended up having much more battery. And so that's why in some instances it will just straight take one of those charging stops out of the way. The other piece about navigating with a Tesla is you will only be required to stop for however long is necessary to get you to where you're going. So in my trip to Atlanta, as an example, I believe one of the stops only required that I stopped for 10 minutes, and another one of the stops required that I stopped for 23 minutes or something along those lines. So it will also alter it from that way, which is something that a lot of people have to kind of retrain their brain. So the process of stopping to charge on a Tesla supercharger is really not annoying, because you do have to stop and pee at some point. And so it is a little bit longer of a stop than you would typically have with a gas car, but it's not enough to be some crippling, just absurdly annoying stop. All right, and with that, that is the conclusion of it. So if this was helpful for you, please like the video. It goes a long way. And the same holds true for subscribing if you want to see some more content like this. I can't guarantee it'll always be Tesla information, but right now I'm strongly trying to educate about Teslas, because I do feel like there's so much misinformation, especially in the conversations that I have with friends and family asking me about my Tesla. The word on the street is not correct in many instances, and I'm trying to help with that. So again, like and subscribe if you can, if you're interested in it, and I'll let you guys get back to it. Thanks.